Welcome. In this video, we're going to do a solo playthrough of Role Player, published by Thunderworks Games. So down at the table, Role Player is a dice manipulation game in which you're trying to basically create a role-playing character for 1 to 5 players. In solo mode, just a couple things change on that, but most of it works the same. We're competing in multiplayer against each other, but in solo mode, basically trying to get a better score to see if we can be better than an NPC or make our way up to true hero. I'm assuming I'm going to be somewhere in here. So for setup, we're going to pick one of our characters. Our options are Dragonkin, Human, Orcs, Dwarves, Halflings, and Elves, and they come in male and female versions. There's no difference between the male and the females, and between each of the races, like the humans, they'll have no additional modifications to each of the stat rows. But like Dragonkin gets +2 strength and -2 to his dex. Orcs +2 strength, -2 intelligence. Dwarves plus on con, negatives on charisma. Halflings lose some strength, gain some charisma. And elves, a bonus to dex and negative on a con. I'm just going to go ahead and go as a boring old human. So remove the rest from the game for now. Basically what we're looking at on our stat sheet, we've got a spot where we're going to place dice to make our attributes, and as the game goes out, we'll put dice in these slots, and then at the end of the game, we'll add these rows up and see how we do to get victory points for our class. Some other things to the side, we'll be getting weapons. We have a market card that has weapons. We'll store them here. Armor, traits at the bottom, and skills on this side. Got alignments over here, so we'll go over those cards in a bit. We'll be picking classes and backstories. So on to this, we always place our dice in from left to right. When we get to the third spot with the gold around it, we actually get a gold coin. And every time we place a dice here, except for the initial setup, we get to use the ability of the attribute we're going for. So from strength, we can flip a die to its opposite side. So if we had a 2, we could flip it to a 5. And if it was a 1, flip it to a 6, and so on. When we place in dex, we get to swap our places of the die we put. Well, basically we swap the positions of 2 dice in our board. Con, we can take 1 die up a pip or down a pip. Just note that does not take a 6 to a 1 or a 1 back to a 6. Intelligence, get to pick up a die on our board and re-roll it. Wisdom, move our cube on our alignment orthogonally. And charisma, we get a discount of -1 on our next market card we purchase. So that's what that card is doing for us. So when we initially set up the game, for solo mode, you take one of the gold dice out. All the other dice will go back in. And then each character, to determine what their class is, we'll just reach in the bag, pull out a die and see what color it is. So red, we can throw that back in. Look through all the classes for the red class, which is going to be the warrior/barbarian. So we can choose either side to go for. So we're going to have a skill. So powerful, we may equip up to 4 hands of weapons. So normally you can only have 2 hands of weapons. For the warrior, we're prepared. So after buying any armor card, you may take a Constitution attribute action, which is raising or lowering one of your dice. And then these are the stats we're trying to get on our board. So since the best we can do on a die is 6, get 3 6s, 18 is the best we can get. So strength of 18 is going to be something we have to work hard for. Dex needs to be a 16 or 17. Con has to be a 17, and intelligence, wisdom, or charisma is a 14 or better. On this side, don't need any 18s. Well, yeah, we do. We need an 18 plus for con, strength 16 or 17, dex 17, intelligence 14 or better, 14 or 15 for wisdom, and 14 or up on charisma. And I think what I'm going to do, we're going to go the warrior route. So hopefully I can remember this. So after buying an armor card, we get to do a Constitution or tribute action. So that's our goals for each of our stats. Then for our backstory, we'll take those cards and give them a shuffle. This is going to be random, same as our alignment. So give that a shuffle, and we are going to be street urchin type warrior. So here, all the different colors of the dice. This is letting us know we want to get a purple in this spot, blue, white, black, red, and green. And for each of those we get in the right spot, we're going to get victory points for that. So we're abandoned at birth and raised in a barbaric orphanage until we escaped at age 7. It makes sense for us being a warrior. Maybe a barbarian would have made more sense, but oh well. You've grown up on the streets and learned the hard way how to be resourceful and survive any way you can. And then our alignment. We'll take our alignment cards, give them a shuffle, and see what kind of street urchin warrior we're going to be. We're going to be a protector out in the streets. So here at the end of the game, if we're somewhere up in the good part, we're going to get 1 or 3 victory points. For evil, -1 or -3. We are the red character, so we'll put that there. The game starts with this in the center, so certain abilities is going to make this go up or down. And at the end of the game, we definitely want to be in the good section. So with our class chosen, we don't need these anymore. And we're basically setting up for a 2-player game. So the 4 and 5 initiative, we're not going to need. Also in playing solo, we'll look in the level 2 cards, which has 2 pips here for the diplomacy card, and remove that one from the game. Then we want to split all of our market cards into level 2 and level 1s. So we'll take all the level 2s, give them a shuffle. And for 2 players, we want to discard 7 cards from each of these stacks here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 will get discarded. We'll put that on the bottom. These will form our discard pile. So we've got some mystic robes in there. So we've got armor. So basically those are sets we're trying to complete. The more mystic items we get, the higher victory points we get. Skills are going to give us extra actions we can take. And see, more armor, traits, additional way to get some victory points. But when we purchase them, it's going to move our alignment track. Same thing with the skills. That's going to move our alignment over. And weapons are going to give us special abilities throughout the game. So then we'll take our level 1 cards and discard 7 from these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So losing some cure wounds, an ancient spear, weak, heavy crossbow, can't be obnoxious, pickpocket, or a quarterstaff. So those are all discarded. Then in the solo game, we also take 1 card and put it into the trash. Certain cards will let us go through the discard pile to get those. Trash cards are just basically removed from the game. So setting up our initiatives here, the one in the center is going to have a gold coin on it. We will start the game with 5 money. We have these player sequence cards. So basically on our turn, we're going to roll some dice. Since we have 3 initiative cards out, we're going to take 3 dice from the bag, roll them and place them in from low to high. If they're doubles, we get to choose where they go. Then for the dice phase, in turn order, we're going first. We get to pick a die off of that and place it on the leftmost position. If it gets placed on the last row, we get another coin. And if we take it off the second spot, we get this coin up there. And after we place it, doing these abilities on the side are optional. And then since we're playing solo, depending on which die we take, the AI is going to do something. If we take it off the first spot, it's going to do nothing. If we take it off the second spot, we're going to roll this on a 4 to 6, nothing happens. On a 1, 2, and a 3, we're going to remove the first, second, or third item in the market row. And then on the 3, we're going to roll the die. On a 1 or 2, we lose the first market card, 3 to 4, the second, and 5 to 6, the last. All this will make a lot more sense after we get the first turn in, but I figure I'll go through the phases. In the market phase, we could spend money to purchase a card. Cleanup phase, we discard any charisma tokens, which is basically -1 to purchasing. Turn any dice in the dice pool back to the bag and discard any remaining market cards. Get new market cards, add gold to that spot. And if we're playing multiplayers, pass the bag around for first player. So our first three items, going to have some leather gloves. So we're trying to get a set of those. A Mystic Cloak. And Being Honest. So gain 3 victory points for each column on your character sheet with 4 or more dice of the same color. And then for initial setup, for 2 players, we take 6 dice out of here. So we've got 4, 5, and 6. We're going to roll those and then make our initial placements. And these will not trigger the special abilities. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, and 6. So the one color that does matter is we want black in the first spot for intelligence. So I'll go ahead and set that there, even though we don't need a 6 on that one, that's for sure. Strength and dex, we definitely want high numbers. So we want 1s and 6s for strength. So I can change that 1 to a 6 later. Dex and con, we want high. So I'll go ahead and put 5s. That's a lot of 6s I got to roll later, but don't have much other choice. Then a 2 and 3 we'll put on the bottom. And the nice thing about the gold dice, for each one of those we get an additional 2 coins each. So our Warrior Street Urchin Protector comes in with some additional money. All right, so that is the setup. So we're ready to get going here. So during the end phase, we'll go over scoring. We're going to go over our tribute scores and score victory points based on our end results there. Class colors, we are the red class. For every red die in here, we're going to get 1 victory point. Then depending on where this marker is on the alignment card, we'll get victory points, positive or negative, or just nothing. Backstory card, we'll score that depending on where dice are in that spot. Armor cards, we'll count those sets up, and then any trait cards. All right, so starting off, 3 dice, 2 purples and a green there. Give this a roll. Then we'll place them from low to high. So 1, 5, and 6. And I want purple in this next spot, and I definitely love 6s. So we'll put that there. Trigger this ability to flip a die over to its opposite side, so this 1 becomes a 6. Then for a market phase, since we took from that spot, we're rolling a die, and one of these cards is definitely getting trashed, and that's going to be the last one, so not going to be honest. Now we can purchase any of the others, and I'm just going to get some leather gloves, so spending 3 money. So we've got our cost up here. So if we just get 1 leather item, 1 victory point, if we get 2, we end up with 3 victory points, 3 for 5 and 4 for 8. And if we were purple or black class here, we'd get an additional point. But we are warriors, so that's not going to help us. So then the leftmost card in solo gets discarded. If there were any more, they would be trashed. These dice go back in the bag. And we get 3 new items. We've got some chain leggings, which we get a bonus for red or white class, so we definitely want that. Oh yes, wait. After buying an armor card, we can take a constitutional attribute action, which is raising or lowering one of our dice. So we're going to make this 5 a 6. All right, now finish filling out that row. We've got a blessed mace. When any player discards a card from the market, we gain a gold. So instead of buying something, we can just discard a card to get 2 coins. And we have a Jewel Dagger. When scoring attribute goals, +1 to all gold dice. All right, so our next turn, shake our bag up, had too many dice there. Grab 3, 2 blues and a red. All right, 4, 6, and 6. Well, we're going to get this one. We are going to place it in the con area. Actually, we want white there. We can fix that in a bit. And then doing con, we get to raise another die, so we're going to take that up to a 6. We also get this coin. Then since we took the second, 4 to 6, nothing happens. So we're fine there. And then we're going to spend 3 money on some chain leggings. So another set item. Except we love chainmail because it gives us +1 for a set if worn by red. And then since we bought some armor, get to take the con action. So we'll raise this 3 to a 4. These dice go back in, we place a coin there. This gets discarded. This gets trashed. We bring out Courageous. So when scoring attribute goals, +2 or -2 value to any single attribute score. And when we purchase this, this goes up a spot. So that's good if we don't get any more armor. Climb. So whenever we take this action, we go up a spot before or after selecting an initiative card, flip all dice in the dice pool to their opposite sides and reorder them. And Reckless. Just gain 2 victory points for each of your attribute scores that is 5 or less. So don't see that happening for us. All right, next round. Go digging for 3 dice. Red, green, and black. 2, 5, and 6. I'm good with the 6, so we're going to take that, put it in the decks. That's going to allow us to swap 2 dice. Going to move the blue into white, which will get us our white one in the spot we want it. And for the market phase, roll here. That's going to get rid of Reckless. And we're going to spend 3 money for Courageous. And that's going to move our alignment up where we want it to be. And at the end of the game, we can raise or lower one of these attributes by 2. So this will get discarded. Put those out. Intimidate. Before or after selecting initiative card, reroll any number of dice in the dice pool and reorder them. And Foolish. Gain 2 victory points if either intelligence or wisdom is 8 or less. And Loyal. Gain 4 victory if you have completed all of your attribute goals. And we're probably not going to have money to buy anything this time. Unless we get that gold die there. So we got 3, 5, and 5. So we can put those wherever we want. We want blue and decks. And that will get us to the number we want. So we're going to place it like that. Then take our blue. We get our coin. We're going to put that in decks. When we put it in the last spot, we get another coin. And we can swap dice if we want to, but I'm not going to do it. So then roll to see if we lose anything. 4 to 6 we don't for the center. We're going to spend all our money. We're going to see if we can't be loyal. That is going to move our track over 1 spot. Then replace our dice, get a coin, discard, and trash. And replace with acrobatics. So +1 face value to 1 die, -1 value to a different die on your character sheet. So skills, if you can't actually move this thing, then you can't do the skill. But that won't prevent you from buying a trait. Sleight of hand, move 1 die on your character sheet to an empty space, slide dice to the left to fill any open spaces. And cunning, gain a victory for each skill card you have. So next turn, got red, white, and black. 1, 1, and 2. And I'm going to move like so. And if we're going to take the 1, we get a coin. We're going to place it there, getting another coin. use the ability to flip it over. So we've got our 18 for that row. Then see if we lose anything. 3, we're losing cunning. And I can't afford to purchase anything anyway. So we're going to discard a card to gain 2 coin. And that gets trashed. So pitch those. Replace with a chain helm for 3 money. That's something we definitely want to buy here in a bit. A long sword. When scoring attribute goals, +1 value to all dice of your class color. We don't want that because that's going to take our 18 to a 20, and we need 18 exactly there. And some leather boots. Wouldn't mind buying it, but our chains are a little bit sexier. So dice phase or roll. Dig in here for 3 dice. Black and 2 whites. So 2, 3, and 4. We're going to take the 4 and place it here. So we're going to get a discount purchasing this turn. So roll to see what we lose. We're going to lose the leather boots. So we're going to buy the chain helm at a discount of 1, spending 2. And then we get to use the con action. And we'll turn that into a 5. And this will get discarded. And replace with nimble to spend 3 money to get a victory point. Search a dice bag and exchange 1 die on your character sheet with a new die with the same face value. And negotiate. Before or after selecting an initiative card, exchange 1 die on your character sheet with 1 on the initiative cards and reorder them. So 3 dice. 1, 3, and 6. We are going to take the 6 and move this over. Then roll and lose nimble. Then we'll discard a card to get 2 money. And then that gets discarded. Put those back in the bag. Then we've got some leather greaves. Clumsy, gain 2 victory if either your dexterity or charisma attribute score is 8 or less. And a tower shield counts as additional armor card for 1 incomplete set when scoring armor cards. That's nice. All right, so blue and white, not the colors we're looking for. Let's see if we get the numbers. 1, 2, and 4, not the best. We're going to take the 4, put it in here. Intelligence allows us to pick up a die and re-roll it. We can keep the old number or the new. So we're rolling a 2, hoping for something a lot better. Getting a 2, bummer. Then losing a card. It's going to be the one we wanted to buy. So instead, we don't have enough money. I'm not getting clumsy. So we're going to discard for 2 and then lose the shield. All right, the market, knowledge. Increase or decrease the face value of a die on your character sheet by 1 or 2. Not bad. Honorable, spend 7 to get 3 victory points. Or proud, spend 5 to get 2 victory points. And 3 dice. All right, 5, 6, and 6, and we can put those in whatever order we want, but I kind of want the red 5. Let's see, that's going to take this up to 13, so it would be 1 short. I'm okay with that. So we're going to place that there. Goes in that spot. It gets us a coin. We get to move. We're going to move this over. We're going to spend 3 to get some knowledge. Then we're going to go ahead and use that to move this over. Increase or decrease the face value of a die on your character sheet by 1 or 2. We'll move that up to a 4. That's going to take us up to 15, so our wisdom is good. That gets exhausted. At the end of the turn, we do get to ready one of our cards. So this will get discarded. That gets trashed. Those go back in. That readies. And obsessed, gain an additional victory for every 2 dice in your class color. Not bad. Focus, gain 2 victory for each attribute row or 3 dice of the same face value. Maybe. Steadfast, gain 2 for each weapon card you have. All right, so we got 3 more turns left. And we need a green. Let's see, do we have everything right here? Got the purple, blue, white, black, red. We need green in that spot. And that looks awesome. So we're taking this green. Last spot gets us a coin. We're also going to get a discount purchasing this turn. See which goes away. That is going to be obsessed. And I'm going to choose not to purchase. So we lose our discount. I'm going to discard that for 2 money. And that gets trashed. Those go back in. Got a chain tunic, which we definitely want to buy. Chain, well, if we can't buy 2 the same turn. And move silently. Instead of purchasing from the market, you may purchase a card from the market discard pile. And then 2 golds and a white. We just want high numbers now. So 2 4s and a 5. Let's see, we just need this to be 14, so we're going to take the extra money. All right, so we get a coin for taking this. We get a coin for filling in that spot, and we get 2 for taking gold. We can re-roll a die if we want to. I don't want to. Market phase, 4 to 6, nothing leaves. So we're good there. So we can purchase either one of those we want. So spending 3, they're both going to do the same thing for us. We'll get the chain tunic. Discard and trash. And we have one last turn to go. So extra money at the end of the game does us nothing. So be famous during final scoring, double the effect of your alignment card. But that is going to move this over a spot. But we can do something about that, so I'm liking that one. Compassionate, gain 2 victory points if the character sheet has dice of all 7 possible colors. And another chain. Ooh. So what's that going to take us into the chain department? It's going to take us up to 4, which gets us an additional 3 victory points. Or famous is going to end up doing the same thing. All right, so our dice. Just 3. We're going to get tons of money maybe, or another red. Not the numbers we were looking for. So without many options, we're taking the 3. We're going to get 1 because we're going in that spot. 2 because we took a gold. Con, we're going to take that up to a 4. Then rolling a die. That's going to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, compassionate. Then we're going to spend 3 to get some chain, which will trigger this ability, letting us do the con to take this up to a 5. And then end phase, and we're done. So now it comes down to scoring. So on the back of our player aid, we have a little chart we can keep track of our scoring to use this for. So we start with our attribute goals. I think I got them all. So we got 18 at the top, so that gets us 4 victory points. We wanted 16 or 17 for dex, so we got 17. That gets us another 2. We wanted 17 on con. That is what we got. So that gets us another 3, so up to 9. 14 or higher for all the others, so we got 14, 15, and 15, so that's going to get us another 3, so we're up to 12. So after that was our attribute goals. Class color, our class is red, so 1, 2, 3, 4 more victory points, so up to 16. Then our alignment card, since we're in the center good, gets us another 3. 1, 2, 3. Then our backstory card, we've got purple, blue, white, black, red, and green. So that's going to get us 6 victory points. Up 25. Then we go to our armor cards. So we've got 1 leather item, so that gets us 1 victory point. Up to 26. And then for a chain, we have 4 cards, so that gets us 7, plus 1 since we're a red class, so we get 8 victory points there. So that takes us to 34. Then our trait cards. Well, when scoring, we could have added 2 or subtracted 2. We'll add 2 to our charisma score. It's still 14 up, so that doesn't do anything. Then loyal, gain 4 if you've completed all of your tribute goals, which we did. So that takes us up to 38. And so that's your scoring. And 38 says, we are a true hero. So imagine that. So that is the basics on how to play Roll Player. As always, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.